Welcome to Hoodies the podcast. We go deep with the blast.
Dear felons, unless you went to prison for murder, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, assault and battery, anything violent, don't nobody care about you being a felon. Stop bringing that up in the midst of a debate or argument. Listen, and if you was on the inside due to theft or anything non-violent, you ain't scaring nobody. You stole some appliances, cars. You may have sold weight. That ain't a violent crime, but crime comes along with it, I'm sure. So that depends on who you are. But you ain't scaring nobody, period. If you, like I said, went to prison for murder, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, assault and battery, or anything violent, listen. Like I said, if you've gone to jail for the things that I just mentioned, I may be inclined to, have my pistol on me if I have to be around you. I'll make sure I got my 45 on me, Fanny Lou, just in case you get triggered. But that's about it. Well, I'm saying that's about it as if that's something small, but it's not small. It's something big. Well, again, depending on who you are, because some of y'all are fat and out of shape. You ain't hurting nobody. And for the record, when I say that no one cares, that you're a felon, well, somebody cares. Somebody cares because it can be difficult to get a job after doing some time. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying cooler with the tough talk. You don't want it with me. I'm a felon. You ain't seen what I seen, fam. I was in the slums. You couldn't survive in my world, B. You know what I mean? Using prison time as a fucking badge of honor. And these youngins think that shit is the coolest shit ever. You confined to a cell, giving orders on when to leave that cell and when you got to get back in it. You subject to cell inspections because they looking for contraband, right? And the money that you need's got to come from your loved ones on the outside because they doing that time with you. The outside folk, they coming out their pockets for you. They busting their ass to be some kind of support system for you. Pictures, videos, emails, maybe some socks, some thermals, etc., etc. And look, it really bothers me, other than that whole felon thing and that badge of honor shit, it really bothers me when some of you talk this, I did it by myself bullshit. Look, for those of you who don't know, apparently you don't know because you're saying it. So for those of you who don't know, listen. Doing it by yourself means nobody held you down your whole bid. Pictures, videos, emails, maybe some socks, maybe some thermals, etc., etc. Okay? Those things cost money. Okay, there is JPay. I don't know if there's any other apps, but I know of JPay. When you send videos, pictures, emails, that costs you money. Phone calls, that costs money. It costs money. Very convenient, but it costs money. Let me tell you something. The prison industrial complex, they paid. Gotta be. My point is, those things cost money. That's money that you didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Unless you work unless you was able to work on the inside. But even then, typically, wages, they range from like 14 cents to $2 an hour. 14 cents to $2 an hour, depending on what state you was locked up in. So you broke, King. You broke. And the folk on the outside, they still digging in their pockets when you in the halfway house too. I think it's set up to where if you get a job or something like that, I think that's how it works. You get a job, well, I think you need a cell phone. You're going to need a cell phone. You're going to need some service for that phone so that you can somehow clock in. I guess if there's some sort of app, something like that. If you received any of those things that I mentioned while you was doing your bid, you didn't do it alone. You didn't do it alone, fam. You didn't get it out the mud. You can tell people whatever you want. And if it makes you look good, hey, do your thing. It's gotta suck to not have nobody. Being a felon is praised in hip hop. Your music sells more, and your peers see you as a real nigga. Y'all hear some of these rappers, right? These motherfuckers is trash. And I ain't saying that because I'm an elder statesman, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes can't ride a beat. Their rhythm is off. And the content is all the same. Ops this, ops that. These youngins out here squeezing at each other over a tweet. Repping blocks that you don't own anything on. Ooh, you're so sensitive. If you got two men standing next to each other, side by side, one man, right? One having gone to prison and one who didn't, right? Now, mind you, the one who didn't, sure, he hasn't gone to prison, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he walked the straight and narrow. He broke the law too. He did some shit too. He had to get it. He was just a little smarter. Or knew when to stop. Just figured it wasn't his thing. However, the jailbird is the one who's seen as a real man. In the eyes of a lot of men and women. And children, of course. That's heavy, man. That's one of the biggest lies in our community. One of the biggest lies. Along with the lie like, I never sleep, man. I don't never sleep. I keep grinding. No sleep. I don't get tired. That bullshit. That's a little off topic, but you motherfuckers better get some real rest. Hustle, sure, but get some proper rest, man. I appreciate the brothers who's been locked up and they use that energy to help people, with the things that they learn from prison. I appreciate them brothers. I really do. Because that jailbird equals a real man, that bullshit is trash. It's trash. And listen, a lot of you ain't even really from no type of hood. A lot of you ain't from the hood. A lot of you are military brats. You're military brats. Meaning you spent most of your childhood on military bases. Okay? I'm not saying that makes you soft. I'm not saying that being a military brat, growing up mostly on military bases, makes you soft. I'm just saying that you didn't come from an environment where you had to become that dude. You know what I'm saying? Who chose to sell weight because he grew up poverty stricken. And minimum wage just wasn't gonna cut it. On base, ain't no drug dealers on the fucking corner. Not like it is in the hood. Ain't no gang life on base unless it's a bunch of fucking wannabes imitating everybody that's on the outside of the base. Why are military brats so wild? Huh? Y'all mad at your parents? Spoiled rotten? Or did you have a hard time fitting in? You trying to prove to your friends, to your city friends, that you ain't so privileged? That you ain't got it good? Okay, I'm not saying that you got a silver spoon in your mouth, but it could be a whole lot worse as a military dependent, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And real quick, right? To you parents that deal with the whole concept of, that's a reflection on me. I should have did a better job at raising my kid. I feel you right there. I do. I feel you. But yeah, I feel you. Listen, I think every parent knows where they dropped the ball. On whatever when it came to raising your kids. You knew when you stopped disciplining them. You knew when you kind of checked out, or you know it. Because military or not, right? A lot of so-called parents be running the streets, clubbing, living their so-called best lives. On top of that, some military marriages are arranged for the money. Like a service member meet somebody and get married for the benefits. It ain't really based off much else. Same thing with some civilians. They'll marry a service member, for the medical benefits, and then other benefits including BAH, if you know, you know. And along, which is extra money, extra benefits along with having a dependent. Right? And because that marriage is arranged, the mother, she's out in them streets wilding, with her sons at home with a husband who don't care. He ain't in this to be a father to another man's kids. This is an arrangement. So she's out, possibly seeing other men, and he's at home focused on everything but them kids. They ain't being raised. They ain't being taught nothing. So as a result, the child or the children, they grow up with a deficit. The son might not trust women because he saw firsthand his mom's being loose with men that wasn't her husband. It's the same thing that can happen with a daughter. If she sees her pop keeping the company of other women that's not his wife and neglecting her, she'll go looking for a father in the men that she dates later on in life. Right? And some sons can become a bit toxic. Because again, they seen firsthand of how women are. In their minds, you get it? In their minds, this is what, because a mother is a son's first girlfriend. Just like a father is a girl's first boyfriend. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? So if your mom's was out here in these streets, seeing other men, you're going to assume, you'll be influenced to assume that that's how women move. You know it ain't right, but boom, this is how women move. Don't trust them. So the sons become possessive, controlling, because they don't want to be hurt by a woman. And again, not to mention, if she's out running them streets, that means he was neglected by his moms. So he's dealing with that too. So the son might be a felon because he got a temper. He dealing with some shit. And I know I went off on a tangent, right? I know I went off on a tangent. But for parents who deal with I should have did a better job of raising my kids. If you're that parent, then you're right. You should have. You should have. And I hope, sincerely, I hope that you can find some peace somehow with yourself and your kids. But for the parents who did raise your kids, listen to this. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. But listen to this. You cannot beat yourself up for what your adult sons and daughters do as adults. Again, you cannot beat yourself up for what your adult sons and daughters do as adults. See, when we think of the word impressionable, we tend to think of children being influenced in a negative way. We don't even think that, like, how they could be influenced in a positive way. Not only that, right? But adults are impressionable too. Adults are impressionable too. Right now, there's an adult being influenced by someone's tweet, someone's Instagram feed. An adult son is being influenced by his father right now. An adult daughter by her mother right now. Their peers who just bought a new car, new house, co-workers who just started investing. Right? Adults are impressionable too. And being impressionable, you can be impressioned in a negative and or a positive way. Just like karma, when people think of karma, they think, ooh, karma gonna get you. Karma's always used in such a negative way. Nobody ever talks about good karma. Almost never. Right? So, listen, parents, at some point as parents, you got to pull back and allow your adult sons and daughters to live their own lives. I'm saying all this because, well, all felons are somebody's offspring. I'm saying all this because you're not responsible for their deeds and actions as adults. Some felons, they learn from their actions and some don't. If you ask me, a lot of you need therapy and a fucking hug. Some of you spend a lifetime lashing out at your past. Listen, if you can endure prison, you can endure talking to someone and getting out that hurt. If you can endure that, you can meditate and get in touch with self. There's mad YouTube channels that can help you with that, by the way. And I'm saying that because, listen, man, all that tough talk don't mean nothing when it's time to make a living for yourself after doing time. You know what I'm saying? Talking all this tough shit. Yeah, nigga, I did time, you know what I'm saying? I did that shit, you know what I mean? Them niggas ain't built like me, yeah, okay. You see how tough you are when it's time to figure out how you're going to make a living for yourself when you get out of prison. Be tough about that. It means nothing, right, when you're trying to get back into the lives of your children after doing time. You'll need a way to deal with that. Listen, don't talk tough and end up back in again because you can't cope. Next thing you know, you're blowing your loved one's hard-earned cash. And that shit ain't cool. Can you dig it? Dear loved ones, if your jailbird husband, wife, son, daughter, friend, siblings, whoever gets out and on their feet and get brand new with you? Like, you ain't been where I've been, smell me, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blickety, blah. I got money now, so you know, blah, 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 blickety, blah, 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 blah. That's the thing. Let the man them go. Let the man them go. Hey, and listen, don't make them brand new either. Don't make them brand new by always reminding them, you know what I'm saying, of all the help you gave them when they couldn't help themselves. That's the thing too. That's the thing too. So in conclusion, bragging about being a felon and doing time is not a coming of age ritual. It's not. The streets are lying to you. They don't love you. Your niggas will not hold you down. That's just in the movies, fam. That's just on Power. The show. Your girl might stick around, but your niggas gonna try to fuck in your absence. This street shit is a farce. That's why everybody's trying to get money and get out. The hood ain't pretty. And you can almost tell who's from a hood and who's really part of that life and who's not. The real hood folk are trying to get out, while the ones who ain't never been there or came up around that are somehow fascinated and want to go there. You know what I'm saying? But I've said too much. Right? I've said too much. And listen, I don't blame y'all if you ain't listening. I mean, I don't blame you. I was a knucklehead when I was young. Couldn't tell me nothing. I was a wannabe vice lord at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a vice lord because, you know, they had the 5-point star. You know what I mean? With the half moon. Well, the crescent, if you will. And the star. Much like the symbols in Islam. And if you follow my content or know me in person, then you know that as a child, my family, we were into Islam. We were Muslims, particularly part of the Nation of Islam. My granddaddy was. Right? So, Vice Lord, man, that just seemed only right. That seemed like the right one to get into. You know? And listen, I said wannabe, sure, but every member starts out as a wannabe until they upgrade and become a real one. That wasn't me. And I've seen gang fights. I'm from the south side of Chicago, right? Listen, I was in between two gangs once before, walking home from school from Inglewood. I think Inglewood is an academy now. I'm not necessarily sure if Inglewood is still open. My Uncle Marty was telling me some time back saying that they was thinking about closing it down due to lack of attendance and some other stuff at the school. But I went to Inglewood my freshman year in high school, and it was rough. Dead ass. The buses wouldn't even stop there. The buses would keep on going because the kids was just way too fucking crazy. Right? Anyway, about the two gangs. I was just walking from school. So on 63rd, not Halsted, but on 63rd. I'm walking all the way down from, I walked home that day all the way from Inglewood. Wanted to save my ones and twos and my twos and fews. It wasn't working yet. Right? So, I'm coming up to this corner. Right? And then a group of dudes came from one side, out of nowhere. Just a gang of niggas came from one side, and then a gang of motherfuckers came from the other side. You know what I'm saying? One of them's like, so what's up? So, what's up? What's up? Niggas behind him throwing up signs. Yeah, what's up? Right? Then the other dude over there, I suppose he was the leader. He was out front. You know? Lift up his shirt and show the piece. Dude over there, the dude up front, you know, the centerpiece, was like, squeeze it, bust it, bust it. And then the dude who flashed the gun didn't pull it out. He ran. So, of course, the whole group ran with him. Then this gang over here started chasing. I'm just standing right here. Watch it. I stopped. Whoa. I'm sitting up here watching this shit. It's like the fucking movies. I'm just watching this. And like I said, that group ran. This one here ran after them. And listen. Okay, so the ones who was really about that life was on the other gang's ass. On them. They wanted that smoke. It was about that life. Right? And here's the thing. Okay, in the gang that's chasing the other gang, there was dudes who was like just running just enough to say that they with that group of just to say that they with that gang, but not close enough to catch up to the real action. It's like they was running slow on purpose. Like they bout that life, but they running slow. Half them probably didn't even cut. They probably turned the corner once they got to a certain point. That's how I know that not everybody in the hood is really about that life. They're just knowledgeable about the environment. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they good with them words, and now they writing bars about what they did and what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like me. I never joined a gang. I never joined it, but it was nothing. It was nothing for me to be sitting on a stoop with all the dudes from the neighborhood on 68th and Langley. Niggas coming, going, some sitting, some leaving. But they come in and greet the gang with the handshake. I knew that shit. If it's somebody who don't know me, other niggas in the gang will let them know, nah, he good, he cool. You see what I'm saying? So I know the goings ons in this neighborhood. I know what to do, what not to do. A lot of you didn't have that. A lot of you are just influenced by the music, hip hop. And that saddens me because I was in love with hip hop before I loved any girl. In my time, it was more of a mixture though. It was more of a mixture of different types of rap. You had the fat boys who came with that fun rap. You had Run DMC who was, you know, them dudes. They was lyrical. You know, it was B-boys. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. That's fresh. Eric B. and Rakim was the 5%ers. Real lyrical. It was like the Nas of the 80s. Then it was Dougie Fresh, the party guy. You know, with the party rap. Dana Dane with the story rap. Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was that fun rap. Storytelling. Then there was LL Cool J, who was the pretty boy with the bars. BDP with the knowledge and the, you know what I mean? And that boom bap rap. Then there was Public Enemy who had the revolutionary rap. It's different now. It's too much the same now. Well, I won't say that. It's out there. You just got to really know where to look to find a lot of that type hip hop. It's just not out there like it once was. Now, the bars are all the same. I'll fuck your bitch. Now everybody's got an op. Everybody's a killer. Everybody's outside. And not all these rappers are on the drugs that they talk about. They just saying all that for a bag. You gotta eat, yeah. But I've talked enough. I ain't do no time, so what weight do my words have? So I'll just end this pod right here and just keep it plain, or make it plain, as Malcolm would say. Don't be a jailbird. Word. This is Hoodies.
I don't even know what a lane is. See no box neither. Welcome to Hoodies, the podcast. We go deep with the blast. Universal. We the free thinkers, devoid of blinkers.
That's why mentorship will never get old. That's why mentorship will never become obsolete. You know what I mean? Because as long as that element is out there, that lie in terms of, what a real man is, as long as that's there, there'll always be a need for mentors of all kinds. Chess mentors, football mentors, basketball mentors, just fathers, stepfathers, uncles, big brothers, great friends. Man. Word. Shout out to the collective, man. Word. Black men, women, boys, girls, and especially the elders. Word up. And then bring it back around to the youth. Because that's what it's about, man. They up next. Shout out to the Skill Youth Chess Club. Shout out to all the youth worldwide. Shout out to Coach Nate for coaching the group. Bringing us up to speed. Getting us tournament ready. Word. This is Hoodies, man. Again. Peace.